from the teaching realm, so I'm all about doing your next action. So my name is Carrie Jeffries, excuse me, and I am the founder and CEO of Bold and Sassy Solutions, and we are really dedicated to helping take both entrepreneurs and executives to that next level to really massively elevate your life and your business. So we're going to talk today about something called permission granted, how to go from stressed, depressed, and stuck to fired up, focused, and fiercely confident. Now it's 10 minutes, so I've tried to pack as much into this 10 minutes as I can without completely speed talking, but I really wanted to leave you with some powerful tips and stuff. So I thought, first of all, I would share just a little bit about my ideas and my beliefs. One of my beliefs is that I believe everyone was created for a purpose, and everyone was given giant, God-sized dreams that we must pursue. And I also believe that everybody needs a kick in the pants mentor, advisor, coach, to really hold our feet to the fire and also inspire us to really play bigger and dig deeper and embrace that genius that we have and really live fully on fire every day. So that is my ultimate mission, is to basically kick your ass today and get you moving forward on whatever that is that's in that next season for you. So I thought I'd start with sharing a little bit of a story about my own sort of struggle point that I had found myself in about 3 years ago. Well, really more than 3 years ago. I had another business for 10 years. I'm kind of this serial entrepreneur, multi-passionate entrepreneur because, Lori understands, one is just for sissies. So I had another business and I was in e-commerce for about 10 years selling on all the different platforms and stuff. And I kind of just happened to fall into it one day because I saw people selling stuff and I was like, wow, they really don't know. I could take that, buy it, turn around and sell it. But it was never really a passion. I just kind of fell into it as we moved around. And after about 5 years, I was just about full. But of course, I kept going for another 5 years. Now, God kind of kicked me in the head a couple of times along the way, and my stubbornness, I just kept building it bigger and doing it over until finally you find yourself at that crisis moment where nothing makes sense. Nothing is fun anymore. Everything is stressful. You find yourself in that constant state of overwhelm and you're thinking, oh my God, there has to be something more than this. I'm tired of beating my head on the wall. I'm tired of doing this thing that I have absolutely no passion for. What the hell is the next season for me and where do I go from here? So there were, like I said, a couple of times that he sort of kicked me. The second time I finally got a clue and I said, you know what, that's it. I'm gonna, this time, make a decision and I'm gonna give myself a drop dead date. And I literally walked away from a six-figure business. And I had no idea what I was going to do, but I figured I'll just take a year off and work with a coach and figure this thing out. And thus, this is where it leads me up to today. And the few things that I learned along the way I thought I would share with you, there were 3 really powerful lessons for me. Is 1, be careful where you put your ladder because your ladder may be up against the wrong wall. Or maybe it worked there for a season, but you get to the top and you go, wow, is this all there is? There must be something more than this. The second lesson I really learned was to make a damn decision. Because I had been spinning around wanting to change for at least 5 of those 10 years, and I just did not do it. And at some point, nothing will change until you make that damn decision. And the third thing was that I had to really step out and ask for help, but I had to be really clear about the help that I was going to need specifically, because I had already made one decision that was lousy because I made it out of a place of desperation. And so when I got to that space, I took a minute and said, I'm going to actually step back and think about what is it that I really need, and then go out and find that particular resource. And I found the right coach the second time that really helped walk me through that process. So here's how we go from stuck to at least that next place, to really get your butt into action. First of all, that's what stuck looked like for me. So when you get time, I want you to think about what does stuck look like for you, because it looks like something completely different for each and every one of us. So that's what it looked like for me. Why are you stuck? I wanted to break it down to 3. There are probably 7 or 8 core reasons that I find that people are stuck, but here's the top 3. And the number 1 is the most important one, and that is your mental head trash. All this stuff just is swirling around. We all want to look at the tips, the tricks, the strategies, the tactics, all of this stuff, but the reality is until this gets right and this gets right, nothing else is going to change. And there's a variety of different ones that I call dream stealers. There's your fear monster, your resistance monster, the procrastination pit or the perfection pit. You've also got the burnout hustle. You've got distraction hell. Oh yeah, We've all been in distraction hell. Comparison, complacency, the fraud factor, excuses and isolation. But the number one mental monster that I find is fear. Fear will hold you back from everything. Even sometimes it'll show up in ways that you don't think it's fear, but fear is by far the number one. It seems to feed all these other ones. So if you don't figure out how to deal with that, that's going to stop you from whatever. Or if you get there, you'll end up self-sabotaging, which I've seen clients do over and over again. So one of the things that you can do, because this really takes some time, is when you get home, write down this question, but really think about this. What has it cost you? What has fear cost you? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, relationships, career, everything. If you drive enough pain in, you will make that change. You will get to that point where I did that said, this is enough, I must change, I can change it, and I will change it now. And that's where you want to drive yourself. Number two, the reason you're stuck is clarity. We lack clarity, foundation, and vision. Because we're so busy, anxious to get to the thing, we never take the time to really do the deep work. The deep work that really involves self-reflection and asking yourself some of the hard questions and asking yourself some of the deep questions, like, what do I really want my life to look like? Not just what is my passion, because passion alone will keep you poor. Remember that, passion alone will keep you poor. There's 4 pillars, which we don't really have the time to go into, but passion is just simply one of those. The one that people always forget is what you want your life to look like, or what do you need your life to look like, because sometimes we find ourselves in places that it may not be able to be the ideal, but it's the good enough. Number 3, the lack of support, accountability, and perspective. Great, Carrie, that's rather self-serving. You know what? That may be true, but I will tell you that was the thing that took me from the trajectory of where I was, kicked my ass, and moved me into that next space, and helped me to walk through to find that level of clarity and that level of what does that next season look like for me. The problem is we're all used to being a lone ranger, or at least I am. I don't know about a lot of others, but a lot of us wanted, especially as an entrepreneur or even a high-performing executive or professional, it's always just easier. Let me just do it myself. But the reality is we cannot do it ourselves. And what that accountability looks like, or that support, it can be different in many different ways. So I want to encourage you today, and we're going to talk about some quick steps after this, but I really wanted to encourage you to start really thinking bigger, to stop thinking small, to stop playing small, to stop being small, to stop living small. Because God cannot do as much with the small as He can if you open your mind to playing a larger, bigger game. If it scares you, that's good. If it terrifies you into paralysis, it's not. But if it doesn't at least scare you a little, it's probably not from God. I'll just give you a clue. It's too safe. So here's some quick steps. Number one, you must deal with the dream stealers. You must. There's no other way around it, or you will self-sabotage eventually, and you'll still be dealing with them. Deal with them now or deal with them later. It's your choice, but you will deal with them. As one of my favorite things is you got to go get some courage from the wizard. If you need to get a little courage to go to the fear, that's fine. Here's my one tip about how to get past fear. It may not work for everybody, but it works well for so many people that I've worked with, and that is to get a brave buddy. Whether that's a mastermind partner or a coach or a friend, whatever that looks like, I call them a brave buddy. Because it's always easier to do something together with somebody and to be less scared. Like, let's go jump in that deep end of the pool together. So they can be there with you as if you have to do something really scared. Number 2, and I already said this one, but I think it bears repeating. Make a damn decision, people. Nothing changes until you make the decision. We're always wanting to have all these options, but the problem is dancing around in all these options, we never really decide where to go. So you're never going to get rid of the clutter, you're never going to get rid of the fear, you're never going to get rid of anything until you cut off those options and you say, I'm going for this. It doesn't have to be, this is my favorite saying to a client, not forever, just for now. So do it forever for at least 30 days. Yep. Think about that. Do it forever for 30 days. And then if you want to change, you can. But make that damn decision and let's go. In fact, right on the top I had clipped on there is a permission slip. I want you to start thinking about what you're going to put on that permission slip. Because we cannot change what we don't acknowledge. And we're going to acknowledge what is it that we need to change. I'm going to keep going, but at the end I'm hoping to leave like a minute where we can work on that. Number 3, get off the damn excuse train. Because we either make excuses or we get better. We either make excuses or we make changes. We either make excuses or we keep living in that same circular place that we always are. Accept no excuses, and impossible is really just a starting point. It really is. The impossible is just the starting point. Always remember that. Keep telling yourself that, because what you tell yourself, you will believe. What you tell yourself, you will act out. So, that's my favorite. I almost forgot about that. If you want to change what you're saying to yourself, you want to change all these different things, you want to make a decision, ask a better question. One of my favorite things that I want to write about this coming year is going to be the power of questions. Because the power of questions can completely change your focus. And when you change your focus, you change your direction. Because wherever you're focusing on, you will get more of. So be careful where you're focusing on. What are you focused on? If you're not getting what you want, chances are you're not focused on the right things. Number 4, you must show up. You must show up every day and take action and commit to playing full out. A simple, small, one action. That's it. Simple, small, one. Because you're going to stack your actions. If you try to make it too big and eat the entire damn elephant or half of it, that's why you're not making progress. Most people are not really clear on what that one single next place is, like the goal, the result, the outcome, and then take a simple action. You want to give yourself quick wins, because quick wins create instant momentum. Instant momentum. So I'm going to leave you with the last thing. Number 5, get help, be brave, and be willing. Be willing to invest in yourself, because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, why the hell should your clients invest in you? And so your homework is going to be brave and fill out the rest of this piece. There are some real pieces for introspection on that next page, on the 4th page, that asks you a lot about permission. What do you need to give yourself permission to do and to not do? And then put that on your permission slip and hang that up everywhere. And the way that you get this implemented is there's a 7-day plan, and you're going to figure out one tiny small step you're going to take every day for 7 days. And you're going to put it up, and you're going to hang it, and then you're going to do just that one thing. And that one thing will probably create more momentum and trajectory in 7 days than what you've probably made in the last 30 days, and I would argue maybe even the last 6 months. So that's what I would like to leave you with today. Any